Hello everyone. So today we are going to deal with a very important topic, internal security. The whole aspects of internal security we are going to discuss today. As you know, in your UPSC, it figures in your main examination in your GS paper 3. GS paper 3. It is an important topic in GS paper 3, and it also, you may also get questions in the prelims relating to current affairs related to internal security of the country. So what is internal security? There are two words which you need to understand here. One is internal and one is external. Okay, so what is internal and what is external? Internal is something within, like if your body, you have your own body, so anything which is affecting you, which part is inside your body, that is going to be your internal. And what are the effects that are coming from outside which are affecting your own body? Those are called external forces. So when we treat our body and compare it with our country, the factors that are affecting the country from within, those are the internal security issues, and those which are coming from outside, our neighborhood, from other countries, from other places, these are called the external factors that are affecting our security, and these issues may be coming from inside and also coming from outside. So the whole scenario of the security of a country is comprised of internal security as well as external security. So today we're going to discuss what exactly is internal security. What consists of a country? So the country is a geographical unit. It has its own citizens. People are living there. There is a population. There are all other elements of a population. There is people who are moving about. There are people who are working, and there are people who are, doing all kinds of other activities within the country, within the nation, contributing towards its economy. So it is a very live concept of a nation. So how the security of the people who are living within a nation is ensured is what we are going to deal with in our internal security. So if I am a citizen of my country, am I secure? Whose responsibility is it to make me feel secure? And how am I protected against the factors which are going to damage or going to affect adversely the security of me, my society, my country, and my fellow people? So this is what internal security means. So whose responsibility it is to give a stable society so that people within the nation are secure and safe. We know that there are many countries which have very unstable governments, where there are a lot of internal issues, where there are a lot of external issues, and people within those countries feel very unsafe and try to migrate to places where there is more safety. So it is the responsibility of the state to protect its citizens and to provide them with a stable environment, a stable government, and where people feel safe to live in and they're happy to stay there. So what are the components of internal security? One is to protect the sovereignty. To protect the sovereignty of a country within its boundaries. So every country has a geographical boundary. To protect that and ensure that there are no other countries or no other armies or no other militaries which are trying to enter into your territory or capture your territory or encroach upon your territory. This is one of the basic functions of the government, to protect its own boundaries and to maintain the sovereignty, especially the territorial sovereignty of the nation. Okay, so this is one point. And the second is that you have to maintain the integrity. You have to maintain the internal integrity of a particular nation, and also ensure that the people within your community are having a feeling of being integrated into that one particular geographical unit. So, who is responsible for maintaining the sovereignty of a nation? Internal security is mostly the responsibility of the police. It is the police who have to maintain the law and order, who have to maintain peace and tranquility within the given territory under which they are working. So, the police is under the, so internal security is managed by the Ministry of, yes, Ministry of Home. The Home Ministry and the Home Department of the center and also of the Home Department of the states are responsible for deploying the police force, for ensuring that the police works in such a way that there is complete peace and tranquility. People are always at peace if there is if the law and order situation in a particular area is good. And anywhere that you find that the law and order is bad and there are elements which are there is danger to life and property, people will not be comfortable in such areas. So it is a responsibility of the Home Department to ensure that the police work in such a way that the society is safe. So when we talk about external security, this is outside of the state boundaries. So we expect that obviously it will be some violence or some action by a foreign country, that is not within our country. So you expect that they will in any way try to disturb your own peace and law and order, your peace within the country, and try to create some kind of disturbances. So then also for this, the armed forces are responsible for maintaining. So you know that the BSF, the CRPF, the ITBP, SSB, these are all the units which are protecting our country from external aggression or external threats. And this is managed by the Ministry of Defense. So we have the Ministry of Defense, which is looking after our external security. So here we have the Police Department, Ministry of Home, and here we have the Defense Ministry, both working in tandem to ensure that India is peaceful within and without. Okay. So now we go on to the next. So we get into the what are exactly the features of internal security. The features. So what are the features of internal security? One is safeguarding the sovereignty of the nation. One is safeguarding the sovereignty of the nation. Sovereignty in the sense that we are the rulers, we are the people, we are for the people, by the people, of our country, and nobody else can have any say in what we want to do, how we want to elect our people, how we want to follow the constitution, how we follow the rules, how we make the rules, how we execute the rules, and how we live, how we develop our economy, how we develop culturally, socially. This is our prerogative and nobody else can interfere in it. So we are sovereign in that sense. It protects domestic peace and tranquility. As I already said, domestic peace and tranquility is the most important element for a person to live in a particular country. You want to go to some place where you feel that you are safe, secure, and there is no threat to your life or property. Then maintenance of law and order. Again, it is the police who has to maintain internal law and order. And you know that any situation that happens, the police is the first responder, reaches the spot and takes particular action. Then there is also equality before the law, and also equal protection of the law. So all citizens within a country have this right that they are all equal before the law. No law can be something for one person and another thing for something. It has to be equal for everybody, and everybody also has the equal protection of the law. Whether it doesn't matter from which caste, religion, creed, sex or region you belong to, the law is equal for everyone. And also this is the corollary to this, is that people are free from oppression. So you can't expect that people, you can oppress a particular community or a particular group of people and say that they are equal. No, this equality means in all aspects people are equal. And also there is peaceful coexistence, because in a country, in a diverse country like India, there are so many religions, castes, creeds, sects, and then regions, cultures, social diversity, cultural diversity, all kinds of people are there within our country. So you have to peacefully coexist, and to peacefully coexist, there are systems, there are structures, there is a government, there are rules, there are regulations, and also there are bodies who monitor this, who control this, who administer this. So people live happily together in a we are unity in diversity, so we all live happily together because of all the systems that have been developed over time. And also we have the concept of communal harmony. Again, this is a part of peaceful coexistence, because there are a lot of communities in the country, and some are in clashes with others, but still they live peacefully together because they know that if they go against the rules or against the laws, there will always be some action which can be taken against them. There is a law which will protect everyone. So next issue that we go on to, why do we actually discuss internal security? Why are there so many issues relating to internal security? Why? What are the reasons that we have so many disturbances? What are the reasons? Let's just go through them quickly. What are the reasons that why should there be disturbances at all? So the first one may be, it may apply to some countries, it may not apply to some countries. Poor governance. The most important thing that one should have to ensure there is law and order, peaceful coexistence, is to have good governance. Good governance will ensure that people are getting all the benefits of development. People are they are reduced their tensions and also their disturbances, and they also have a access to all governmental systems, so that they can get relief if they have any problem. Second is, again, a very important issue is poverty. If there are too many poor people, people who do not know where their next meal is coming from, they can easily be coerced, or they can easily be brainwashed into doing something which is not lawful, because they are desperate to sustain themselves, to live a life. So just to survive, they may be lured into some activity which can create a disturbance in the internal system of the country. So this is a very important point. We will find that very poor nations with very less GDP, they have internal disturbances because people are poor. People are not getting benefit out of their governmental programs. They are not able to live a dignified life. So they join either some militant groups or some other kind of anti-social groups to get what they, to demand from the government what they want. So this is the politics of wanting something. Then there is developmental disparities. Again, another very important point, where some people are benefiting and some people are not. So the developmental process is very good for some people, and bad for some people. Bad in the sense that they are not being given the fruits of the developmental programs. So what happens to them is they are frustrated, they are angry with the government, so they may again resort to creating some kind of disturbance, like having dharnas and protests, and then which lead to law and order issues. So this is the whole process, the vicious circle of creating internal disturbances. The another one point is unequal income distribution. Unequal income distribution. Some people, you find even in India, that some people are extremely rich on the other end of the ladder, and some people are down in the ladder who are struggling to live a decent life, to have their just to survive. So this is unequal distribution. It's the role of the government to ensure that these disparities are reduced at a very fast pace, so that there is some kind of equality in distribution, and also that people who who are the people within the society have income, so that they can not be diverted or not be distracted into unlawful activities. Then you have communal tensions. Communal tensions are also leading to lot of internal issues. Many places you find that these places have become very communally tense. That has to be curbed at the very beginning, so that they do not escalate into very big issues. So communal tension, again, a very important topic for the police officers to get the required intelligence, and also to work on that intelligence before any incident actually takes place. So you have the haves and the have-nots. So people who have this again is a corollary to your unequal income distribution. Some people have, some people do not have. So it has to be there that everybody has, and there will not be any have-nots within the society. Then there's social injustice. We have seen that India has many religious groups, communal groups. We have people of different sects, people of different, following different kinds of religions. So these particular, and also they follow different professions. If you go back to ancient India, you'll find that there's a Varna system where one community is supposed to do a particular task, and the lowest community was always looked down upon, oppressed, suppressed, and this has been going on for so many generations. So the concept of social injustice has been prevalent in India through the ages, and it is for the government. It is that the government is doing a lot of programs and plans and programs to eradicate social injustice, and also bring on par all communities, that there is nothing which is low, or there's no task which is small, there's no task which is big. It is for everyone to do. All the all professions are equally dignified, and people should take pride in whatever they are doing. So reducing social justice, or so a social injustice, how does it lead to internal disturbances, internal security issues, is because the oppressed, the depressed, and the suppressed people, they may rise in rebellion, they may take up arms, they may revolt against the government, they may take up any other activity, they may join some militant groups, so they can create a disturbance within the society. Okay. One of the most important points to be noted is that we have an unfriendly neighborhood. So I would neighborhood, or you can call it neighbors. The unfriendly, it has been historically noted that our partition, after partition, we had a lot of issues with our very close neighbors, and now we have China, which is emerging as a major power in the world, having its own interests not only with our borders but also in the Indian Ocean. So the neighborhood has been a little hostile, and they have also tried to inflict some disturbances into our country, so that they feel that if India is in turmoil, it will be to their benefit. So they try to disturb the internal security of our country. So an unfriendly neighborhood is one of the very important points that we have to take into consideration. The next one is about our judicial system, where we have some outdated laws. We have some outdated laws and also a very slow judicial process. Sometimes this leads to a lot of frustration. It's taking years and years for people to get justice or to get a fair trial. So then you'll find that there is frustration and there is a desperation for people to take to other modes and try to disturb the internal security of our country. Another thing that which is very important nowadays is the media, social media, and all kinds of communication channels which are very active, and people follow all these the communication that is being fed to them, and this also sometimes results in some kind of a spurt in violent activities or any other kind of issues which are affecting our peace and tranquility. So as we know, many times when there is tension in some areas, all media communications are blocked. So it is evident that they can create a lot of goodwill or even badwill in our society. Okay, so this is one very important issue now, especially today when social media is so prevalent. Everybody has a mobile phone, everybody has an internet, everybody is all kinds of information is accessible to everyone, from a child to an old man. So the spread of communication has also affected our internal security matters, and this is one of the issues that is being taken up by the government to ensure that no disinformation is spread, especially during any kind of tensions. And the last one is contentious politics, which is a very important factor, that for the political gain, some persons or some groups, they indulge in some activities which can lead to tensions within the society, and this can also escalate into a big issue if not controlled at the earliest. So now you have an idea of what internal security is, what are its dimensions, and what are the factors that are affecting internal security, especially in our country. Okay, so now we'll see what are the major challenges that either the Home Ministry or the Defense Ministry are facing, so that they ensure that we are safe. So what are the challenges? I will be dealing with each of these challenges in detail, but now we'll just go through them in a short. One is the unfriendly neighbors that I told you about, the partition of India, the aftermath of the partition. These have all led to a very bitter taste in everybody's mouth, and this continues even today, where our neighbors are still looking to disrupt or adversely affect our internal security. Then we have the Northeast, which is again, which has been a very sensitive part of our country, because it is bordering all our neighbors and not so friendly neighbors. So we have the Northeast, which is little cut off till now. Now we have a Northeast, we have a ministry for Northeast, and a lot of progress being done. So the integration of the Northeast within our country is now taking place in a fast manner, but earlier it was more of they were more isolated, the whole area was more isolated, it was like a cut off area from the rest of the country. Now it is being rapidly developed, and also quick action being taken for any kind of insurgency, or and also ensuring that all the boundaries are secured. So Northeast is a major challenge. The recent incidents in Manipur and other places have also affected our internal security in a major way. So after the Northeast, we come to what we call as the communal issues. Again, a perennial. If we go back to the British rule, divide and rule started from there, and it still continues in one form or the other. So communal tensions have to be controlled to ensure that there is peace, and because there are these communities which are at loggerheads with each other are there in every state. So one state, one issue can escalate into the whole country and also create a very big very big internal security situation. So communalism is a big challenge for the country and also for the security forces. Then we have caste conflicts. Caste conflicts, again bordering on communalism, but you have some very prominent castes who have prominent issues and who clash with other prominent castes. So these clashes also lead to lot of heat, and it creates a lot of heat and dust within the society. And if the communication and there is misinformation, then it can spread very fast and create a major problem. Then we have regional and ethnic issues. So the recent incidents in Manipur are one example of this, that ethnic issue which escalated into a very big conflict in that particular state and had to be redressed over a period of time. So this is one of the important issues that is there on the surface always. It is just if there is any trigger, it will erupt. Then we have another perennial problem after independence is Jammu and Kashmir. So fortunately we had peaceful elections, and but the militant activities are still going on, and it needs to be addressed very firmly in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Again, because it is bordering our neighbors, so we have to be on the agile all the time. Then there is the transmigration from Bangladesh. Again, our good friendly neighbor going through a lot of political turmoil, and also because of the turmoil in Bangladesh, we find that there is a lot of illegal migration into India, and you know that the government is trying to regularize and legalize all kinds of citizenship issues in this area, in this particular area. So Bangladesh has always been one of the triggers to create some internal turbulence in India in that particular area. Then we have maritime security issues. Again, I said the Indian Ocean has become a very important focal point for both China and also for the Western countries. So our maritime security has to be maintained at all costs to ensure that there is no transgression into our area. Then also we are talking about water, then we are also talking about space. We need to have our own space conflicts also happen. So we need to the militarization of space is also happening, because there are too many people in the field competing with each other. Then we have a very important point of organized crime. So organized crime, I will be dealing with this in a more extensive manner in the next class. So organized crime also has its, if there are drugs coming in, if there are arms coming into our country illegally, these are definitely going to create conflicts within the society. So illegal arms can be used to create all kinds of damage to property, to lives, and any kind of incident where people will bring in their illegal arms and create havoc. And illegal drugs, human trafficking, all currency, all kinds of issues related to organized crime can also affect the internal security of a country. And also there's an evolving multipolar world. So now we cannot, you know that an incident in one country will affect the whole world. So now we are a very, it's like a one world now. We have seen that the collapse of a very small country, economy of a very small country like Greece had the Indian stock market also crashing that day. Now the elections in America are also bringing in a slump in the Indian stock market. Though we have nothing actually seeing in the election of the US president, India has no obvious role, but it has become such a transparent world, it has become such an emerging multipolar world that every action of one country or an action of a group of countries is affecting the whole world. So this is the scenario that we are living in today. So we cannot say that I am happy here and I am doing this and I am doing that and nothing can happen to me. No, tomorrow if the economy of Turkey collapses, you will find that your stock market is also going to crash. So it is so dependent, we are so dependent on each other for our trade, for our imports, for our exports, for sending our services, sending our capital. So many things are intertwined with each other that you cannot say that you can stand alone. So this is the country in which or the scenario in which we are living today. So there are also some new challenges. These are all the traditional challenges that have been talking about. So there are some new challenges, especially the COVID-19 has brought about a lot of spectacular changes in the world. So now the new challenges are epidemics and pandemics. So we have seen that COVID-19 has changed a lot of things in the world. Everybody has experienced and gone through the pain and the horror of that pandemic, and it has taught a lot of new lessons to the world. The second is cybersecurity. It has become a very major issue where even the most secure cyber the issues have been hacked, or you recently must have read in the news about the AIIMS of Delhi being the website being hacked, then Pentagon's website was hacked. So there is no, I mean, the cyber criminals are researching and experimenting and using their techniques in such a manner that now nothing is secure. Anything can be done online. Then we have also online, you see that there are a lot of the grey market, the areas where there are arms dealings, there's currency dealings, and all kinds of illegal activities going on in the virtual world. So these are also affecting the security of nations, and this is a emerging threat, and this is it's becoming larger than life as the days pass. Then we have issues like climate change. Again, it is a emerging topic which is affecting the whole world. As you see, seasons are changing. Even in our country, we are having extended seasons, and we'll find forest fires, we are finding floods, earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis. which we never had before in such rapid succession. So climate change is a very real threat to the world now, and if measures are not taken immediately, this can be a very, very big change in the which can bring about a big change in the society. Then we have disasters, like I said, forest fires. Then there are other kind of disasters which are happening all the time, which will affect the fabric of the nation. Then we also have a proliferation of small arms and other kind of arms which are leading to small wars. So you now know that the Gulf region has become a hotbed of warfare. So you have the Ukraine-Russia war going on. So these are the areas where there are conflicts, and the other countries of the world are also pulling in, either selling arms or supporting a particular country or not supporting a particular country. The role of the UN is being questioned. So these issues are also leading to a lot of tensions between nations, and also leading to internal security issues for other countries. These are the new challenges that we have we are seeing nowadays, and these have to be rectified by various governments at their own level. So we'll conclude by discussing that how can we actually improve the situation. Is there any scope for us to improve, or what kind of steps that we need to take so that things will improve? One is obviously political. There has to be a political will to ensure that there has to be a will that politically the government is strong, that we will not tolerate any kind of disturbance, we will not tolerate any kind of within our country. So then we have to also see socio-political, socio-economic, see that disparities are reduced, income, equal distribution of income, and people get paid for what they do, and also socially ensure that there is parity, and also see that the differences between different sections of society is as less as possible. Then you also have governance. The governance has to be very strong, very strong-willed, and very straight forward, that no nonsense is tolerated at any level. Then we also have the performance of the police and security forces, that how well they execute their duties, so that before an incident happens, it is nipped in the bud. Then there is coordination between state and center. Because police is a state subject, so sometimes there are conflicts when there are two different parties at the state and the center level. This has to be, the center has to treat all states equally, ensure that the distribution of if there's an incident and paramilitary forces are called for, they are dispatched on time and equally, and they show no partisanship between states which are ruled by them and states which are ruled by another party. And for this, again, intelligence gathering is an important. Intelligence gathering is a very important part of policing, and also for paramilitary forces which are on the borders, they also have to gather intelligence to know what the opposite or the other country is doing, so that they can take action immediately and not wait for something to actually happen. Then we have to manage our borders. So again, here I am talking about the security agencies which are working on the borders. And last of all, the best part is, in all the security issues, in all the internal security issues, people's participation is extremely important. People have to be taken into confidence when any kind of action is taken. When there is any incident, we see that as collectors and SPs, when we are in districts, if there is any communal issue or there's any tension, we call people from all fields, from all walks of life, and have a meeting, talk to them, tell them, make them understand that this is the issue and how they can contribute to bring about peace and maintenance of law and order. So it's very important that people should be made aware of what the situation is, how they can be helpful, and what exactly their role is to ensure that they themselves are safe. So these are some of the issues relating to internal security. I have not actually talked about terrorism and Naxalism. These are all left-wing extremism. These are all issues which are prevalent in our country, and I will be dealing with them separately in a more in a wider scope. So I hope that for the fundamentals you have understood what internal security is and what external security is, how the two are different, and what are the components of internal security, what are the reasons why there is disturbance to internal security, and what can be done or what steps we can take to ensure that there is peace, law and order in our country. So thank you for watching this video, and I will be coming up with more videos of the same kind. Thank you.